guys, thanks for joining the vlog today. Brandon Gamble here. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe to become a part of the Pilates Life channel. So today I've got a fundamental reformer class for you. I'm so pleased to hear people requesting a fundamental session because it's within that fundamental work that you find the depth of these classes. So thank you for your requests. I've got a fundamental reformer for you. Let's move. Okay, so here we go with a fundamental reformer session. I've got my amazing assistant, Natalia, here today. Thank you so much for being a part of this and helping me out. Lovely to see you. We're going to start with a fundamental mat exercise, warm-up, sorry. Sit here, facing that direction. Put your feet against mine. Find a nice high postural line. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, just let your body roll down comfortably and naturally. Just love the roll down. Such a great way to check in with your body. Listen to your body talk to you. What's tight? What's loose? Scoop and roll up. What needs to be stretched? What needs to be strengthened? What's going to make us feel good today? Take a breath in. Exhale, roll down. Really nice posture, Natalia. Really good. Let this head just kind of follow the line of your spine as you roll through. Keep that nice rounded position of your spine. Soften your knees just a little bit as you get into your low back. Soften a little bit. Soften. There you go. Take a breath in. As you exhale, think of your sacrum coming under you, your legs straightening out, and your abs peeling up to restack the spine. Let's do one more. Breathe in. Exhale down. Excellent opportunity for you as the teacher to look from all angles to see how your client is moving, how they're coordinating breath with movement, and just in generally moving through this roll down. Exhale, scoop and roll up. You can see if there's tightness on one side, strength on the other. You can see where those asymmetries are, the hamstring flexibility. There's so much you can see on that simple movement. So let's have a lie down. We've got the reformer converted into a mat. We're going to do a fundamental mat warm-up, starting with the pelvic curl. How's your sacrum feel on the mat? Is it okay? Yeah, she had a little bit of a skating accident, so we're going to be very kind to her today. Can you tuck your heels into your sits bones just a little bit? Perfect. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let your body just relax into the mat. Relax the pelvis, relax your body, relax everything, and relax in a neutral pelvic position. Inhale. This time as you exhale, go into a deep posterior tilt, pull your belly button in, tuck your tail, keep your ribs here, and use the backs of the legs to peel your spine up and off the mat. This is called the pelvic curl. Inhale at the top. As you exhale, feel each vertebra one at a time articulate down the mat, rolling back and through to a neutral pelvic position. Very nice. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, scoop your abs, peel your spine up. If you're at home doing this workout with us, you can do it on the floor on your mat, you can do it on a raised mat, or anywhere you feel comfortable. Inhale, exhale, roll down. You can even do it on your reformer. I would just put the foot bar down so you have a nice elongated position to put your body in. Feet can go on the foot bar, body can be on the carriage. Inhale, exhale up. Hold. She's really creating this beautiful line here, this nice diagonal line. Inhale, exhale, rolling down. I can see her putting energy into her elbow, shoulder extensors, pressing a little energy down into the mat. Very nicely done. We're going to go to a T position with your arms, palms face up. Just kind of let them drift out to the side and feel as if you're creating a little bit of energy into your upper body just to support and stabilize yourself. Take your legs to tabletop one at a time. Glue your knees together. We're going to bring them just over your hips, Natalia, right about there. Keep your ribs engaged. Your upper body is one, your lower body is one, and you're just moving at the waist to create a nice spine to a supine. Inhale to me. I want you to imagine that your waist is a washcloth. Exhale to center, and you're just wringing that washcloth out. Inhale to the left. and exhale to center. She is doing an amazing job on keeping those knees together. If you keep your knees and legs as one unit, you know the movement comes from the waist, it's not coming from the hips. Inhale to your left, abdominal obliques, pull you back to center, and as you can see, that upper body's beautiful. It's nice and sustained, it's nice and solid, it's nice and strong. Take your heels down just a little bit, Natalia. Thank you. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Just allow that gentle movement through your spine to kind of warm you up and get you prepared for your workout. Good. We're going to take the feet down one at a time. We're going to bring your heels into your sits bones just a little bit. Interlace your hands behind your head. Take a breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, your head, chest, and shoulders come into forward flexion. Again, eyes are right about here on the thighs or knee region. Deep forward flexion of the spine, elbows nice and wide. Hold at the top, breathe in, and exhale down. It's that double breath pattern that creates a lot more emphasis in this exercise. Inhale. Exhale, head, chest, and shoulders come into forward flexion. Letting that rectus abdominis flex the spine. Hold, breathe in, and exhale down. Wow, you're looking stunning today. Inhale. She's got a bruise on her hand. Exhale up. She's got a bruise on her tailbone. Where else? Her neck. Poor thing. Inhale. Exhale down. You're not supposed to break yourself before you come in and help me film these. Inhale. Exhale up. She can't help it. She can't help it. She's young. Hold, breathe in. Exhale, roll down. You can go home and have a little cocktail, a little aspirin. You'll feel great. Inhale. Exhale up. We're going to go into chest lift with rotation. We're going to hold this forward flexion. I love this cue. Forward flexion takes priority over rotation. So we inhale. We keep that forward flexion as we rotate to the right. On the exhale, inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. She's got a great movement pattern here. The pelvis is nice and still. No movement in the legs. Upper body is moving as one unit. Wow, you're looking great today. Nicely done. Let's do one more each side. We're going to exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale. If you're doing this at home with us, keep that deep forward flexion. Hold, breathe in. And exhale, roll down. Just a lovely way to begin your session. From here, we go right into footwork. Okay, we've converted the mat into the reformer. I've just taken the conversion away, put the foot bar up, and set the stopper. So we're here ready for some footwork. We've got the foot bar with 2 holes showing. We're going to go heels parallel, a couple inches apart, flex those toes towards the ceiling. We want to try to maximize that dorsiflexion and then maintain that position of the foot as we articulate through the ankle joint. She's got her shoulders against shoulder rests. I've got 3 red springs on here. If you're doing a fundamental session or you're just beginning sessions with your client, 3 red is a good starting point to kind of gauge where they're at with their strength, how well they can maintain neutral pelvis. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lengthen to the top. Hold, inhale, bend to the bottom. As you exhale and lengthen your legs, I want you to reach through your knee joints a little bit more, a little longer. That's perfect. Thank you. Inhale, bend. You want to find full range of motion. You want to get that full length through the leg. You don't want to lock the legs out. You don't want to snap the legs, but you're always looking for full range of motion throughout that motion and movement. Your pace should be controlled. You don't want to go so fast that you can't control your foot position, you can't control your pelvic position, you can't control your shoulders, but you don't want to go so slow that you burn yourself out. You want to work the concentric contraction up and the eccentric contraction back. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend. It's almost as if you're pulling that foot bar towards you. And control to the bottom. From here, I'm going to have you go just a little more to neutral if you can. Is that going to be hard on your tailbone? Okay, as long as you're okay. Always communicate with your client. Always let your client communicate with you. Communicate with yourself if you're doing this along with us. Parallel toes, press to the top. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend. Are you sure it's okay on your tailbone? Okay, I don't want you to be mad at me later. A lot of times people veer away from this neutral position of the foot as they're doing the footwork. So I just take my hands, I put them right on the ankle joint. I'm not forcing them down, I'm not pulling them up. I'm just giving her a little tactile feedback to feel where her feet should be as she's doing this movement. Again, a good controlled pace on the footwork will help the client allow nice articulation through the ankle joint, beautiful movement through the knees, nice neutral pelvis, and hip mobility as well. Exhale up, inhale, bend. We're going to keep the hands relaxed. We're going to keep the shoulders, neck, and head relaxed. All the energy is coming from the core and just moving down through the legs. Using the breath to create a rhythm for the motion and movement. Hold it there. From the bottom, you're going to think of your hip joint just externally rotating naturally. The heels will naturally come into a V position, and there's your nice Pilates V position. As you lengthen to the top, Natalia, squeeze the legs together, inhale, bend to the bottom. A little more neutral pelvis if you can, if it's not hard in your tailbone. Very nice. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. We're going to try to get a little more length out of that knee joint right about there. Does that hurt? Is that okay? Inhale, bend. Okay. She says it's okay. I'm believing her. I'm trusting her here. That's the length that I'm looking for. You're just a little soft on your full range of motion. Yes, that was beautiful. Bend, inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Nicely done. Come down to the bottom. I usually do anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions. We're going to go heels to the outside corners. If you'd like to do some more reps, you're doing a home workout with us, just pause the video, do a couple more reps, and then join us. Again, take a breath in. Keeping your feet right here, Natalia, press to the top and bend to the bottom. A lot of times I'll take my fingertips, put them on the foot bar here, let the feet rest on the back of my hands again so they have a little tactile feedback to work with as they're doing their motion and movement. This is so important for proper gait. You can see if the foot is supinated or the ankle is supinated, if it's pronated, how they're moving through the backs of the legs, how they're keeping their pelvis in neutral, if their toes are getting tense, if the arches are getting tense. There's a lot that you can correct here as you're doing this footwork. Whether you're in a fundamental session or an intermediate or advanced session. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend. Really nice length of the knee joints, Natalia. Now I feel like you're really finding that, almost as if you're trying to reach and stretch out of the joint. And lengthen and bend. Beautiful. We're going to go to our toes. You want to make sure all 5 toes are on that bar. You're on what I like to call the toe canyon. So here's the tips of the toes, here's the pad of the toe, and right in between is a little toe canyon. You just take that toe canyon, you like that, and press it onto the bar. Oh, no, come back down. You're a little high on your heels. So if you notice she's already in kind of a hard plantar flexion, we're going to take the heels down to about there. And now as you press away, that's a good position for your ankle joint. Yeah, nicely done. And exhale. Reach out through those knees and inhale, bend. Make sure your hands are relaxed, shoulders are tension free, neck is feeling nice and relaxed in that long position. She's got really nice posture, as you can see when she was doing a roll down. So the headrest is down, she's nice and flat on the carriage. That's exactly what I want to see. If you or your clients have a little bit of kyphosis, a little round shoulder, you're feeling uncomfortable in that flat position, put a little pad under your head or take that headrest up one notch. We want to eventually get to a nice flat position, but if you need to make those modifications and adjustments on your machines, that's what they're there for. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. And come down to the bottom. Good. We're going to just draw our toes towards one another. Go back to that parallel toes position, right about there. Press up to the top. This is my favorite part of the whole workout. If you have somebody training you, you draw those heels under, and it's just a gentle little stretch. Please be careful you don't pull too hard on the Achilles. You can just grab your client's ankle or their heel, give them a little stretch, just a little extra pull, but don't pull real hard. Okay, you never want to force any tactile cueing. From here, press up and drop. I usually do about 20 repetitions, but for the sake of time, we'll just do 10. Plus, I don't want to burn her out. She's been roller skating all day, and I don't want to make her too tired. There's 4. Now, this is a classic position of the ankle joint. I don't know if you can see this in the film, but she's going a little too high in plantar flexion, and the ankle joint's actually rolling out a little bit. So, Natalia, drop your heels a little bit. This is about the maximum range I want you to have. So let's do 3 more reps just like that. Now we see the ankle joint and the subtalar joint working in a nice parallel position. She was going too high and the ankle was rolling out a little bit. We're going to hold it at the top, go to your prances, bend one knee, push up, and the other, and up. And I like to do a kind of a quick-paced prance. It challenges your pelvic stability, allows you to move through it, but don't neglect the up and stretch, and up and stretch, and up and stretch. Don't snap. Control, and boom, and boom. And rail loves the boom, so we got to put the boom in for the BASI rail. Oh yes, drop your heels under and just very slowly bend your knees, push your heels under the bar, almost like you're doing prehensile as you come down to the bottom. Come, 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 come. Beautiful, nicely done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a blue, take a red off, so we're just taking the weight down about a half of a spring. We go back to parallel, we take the right leg to tabletop, keep that knee just above the hip joint, keep that left foot plantar flexed and, dorsiflexed, and press to the top. Inhale, bend. A lot of people cut their single leg footwork out. I don't know why it's so imperative to this work. It challenges the body in a unilateral position. It helps the body become more equally weighted, equally strengthened, gives you as the teacher to see any little asymmetries that may be happening in the body. Make sure you count those repetitions out so you're doing equal number on either side. This should be 7 and 8. We come down to the bottom, we switch legs. Make sure you drop that foot slightly off center, so the foot, knee, hip, and shoulder in nice alignment. This comes to tabletop right about there. Press away, exhale, lengthen, inhale, bend. You want to be right to the edge of the heel. You don't want to be on the arch of the foot. I feel like she can come up just a hair. That's it. Does that feel comfortable for you? Constant communication with your client is key. Ask them how they feel. Ask them if they're feeling comfortable, if they're feeling uncomfortable, if they're feeling fatigued. Always communicate, communicate, communicate. Doing a great job on keeping this leg nice and still. You'll see as people are beginning their Pilates journey, this leg likes to move with the movement leg. So encourage them to keep that leg in a perfectly still position. I believe that was 8. We come down to the toes, put both toes on, drop your heels a little bit, square off the feet, square off the hips first, then take that right leg to tabletop and then press away. Inhale, bend. So I'm not giving her any tactile feedback right now, and she's doing an amazing job keeping that foot really still, so there's as much articulation to the ankle joint as she can get, and your length is stunning. You're really reaching through that knee joint. I feel like you're trying to stretch out of your hip joint. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend. That's 5, and reach it out for 4. Drop your heel just a little bit. That's very nice, very nice. That's all you got to do. 7, inhale, bend, exhale, lengthen for 8, and control to the bottom. Good, we drop this foot down, make sure it's slightly off center so your foot, knee, hip are in nice alignment. This comes into tabletop, we press it out. Sometimes I'll just stand back a little bit so I can watch the body from a further position. I put my toe under here. Now she can feel where my toe is. She's going to keep the heel on my foot, which allows that foot to stay nice and still. Again, a little tactile feedback for her to kind of feel where she's at in space. Proprioception can be really challenging when you're doing Pilates. That's 4, and 5. You got a really nice controlled pace, Natalia. I just love that. 2 more. Hands a little closer to your side. Very nice. Just keep those arms long, keep those shoulders open, and come down to the bottom. That was stunning. Nice job on your footwork. We're going to go to the ab work now, which is the next block in the BASI block system. I'm going to do a red and a yellow today. That's a full spring and a quarter spring. It's a little bit on the lighter side, but since this is a fundamental session or possibly a newer client, we want to go a little bit easier to see how well they control themselves. Scoot down away from the shoulder rest just a little bit. You always want a little bit of room between the shoulders and shoulders rest to move comfortably in and out of your C curve. I'm going to hand her straps. You're going to relax your ankles a little bit. You're going to push up on the foot bar just a little bit so those arms come right above the chest. Either above or below, but we don't want them too high. Sorry, not above, either at or below. If they're too high, you'll have a tendency to pull on your neck. So now you're nice and secure. Abs are secure, little tension on the straps. We take the legs to tabletop one at a time. We glue the knees together. We take a breath in. We exhale. Arms begin the movement as the head, chest, and shoulders follow in forward flexion, just like that chest lift. Right by the side, you can see she's horizontal to the floor. Nice engagement of the abdominals. Inhale, return. So keep doing a couple, would you? If you can see carefully, her head is coming back with the arms. Keep going. What I would like to see is maintain that C curve for just a moment as the arms drift up to about 90 degrees of the shoulder joint, then the arms, head, chest, and shoulders fall back. There, now she's correcting it really well. We're going to pull this in just a tad. Exhale into your C curve. Maintain that C curve as the arms start to drift up, and then the head, chest, and shoulders pull back. Exhale up, arms right by your side, head, chest, and shoulders in a forward flexion. Bring those knees in just a little bit to tell you that's it. Inhale, arms drift up, head, chest, and shoulders follow back. Let's do two more. And excellent. Arms drift up, head, chest, and shoulders. Don't stay up so long that you feel tension in your neck or you burn the abdominals out, but just stay a little deeper as those arms reach up to about 90 degrees of the shoulder joint and then come back. That was great. Nicely done. Feet are going to rest on the bar, hands back down to the side. The next block is the hip work block. I'm going to go to a red and a blue, just give her a little bit more. That's one spring and a half, 1.5 springs. Push up on the foot bar. Put one foot in. Anytime any of you watch me teach, I'll always be in control of the strap, the carriage here, and the client. So make sure that they don't fall off the machine, especially if they're brand new to Pilates. So put the other foot in. Good. I'm just going to sit on the foot bar. This is a perfectly acceptable position to watch your client and cue them. If you feel like they're uncomfortable, they don't want you sitting here, they can let you know. You can just come around the back of the machine. But you're looking good. We're going to do the basic fundamental hip series. Open the right knee up just a tad. A little bit more, and then both knees just a tad. That's it right there. V position of the feet, V position of the legs. Knees are starting just above the hips. We press out, keeping those heels along the same horizontal line. A little longer with your knees. That's it. Inhale, bend. Relax your shoulders a little bit. Nicely done. Exhale, lengthen. Staying along that same horizontal line. Inhale, pull back. There's some connection. I notice it when I do it. I notice it when my clients do it. Keep doing your movement. When the adductors start to activate, the heels are together, you can feel those adductors working. It tends to build a little tension in the neck and the shoulders, so I'm constantly reminding my clients to relax the neck and shoulders or keep the neck and shoulders in a neutral, comfortable position. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Really nice. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend, and hold it here. The carriage stays fairly still as the legs come straight up. We maintain that V position, just a gentle point through the toes, gentle plantar flexion. Don't hard point, don't hard dorsiflex. There's lots of different variations of hip work that you can do with that, but we're just doing nice and simple today. We come down the center line. We circle around. We come back up to perpendicular and across. Exhale down. Circles down. I always like to think of, if I'm doing work with my lower body, it starts with down circles. If I'm doing work with my upper body, it starts with up circles. The objective is pelvic lumbar stability. Inner thigh stretch, inner thigh strength, right? So make sure as you're moving through, you keep that pelvis nice and still. You don't feel like you're teetering on the back of the pelvis. You're starting to come to a more parallel position with the feet. Keep the hip joint externally rotated. Keep that gentle V position. There you go. And you're actually starting to point really hard on those toes, so just relax the feet just a little bit. Think of the energy coming from your hips, your abdomen and your hips. If you think about the energy coming from the feet can get tense, and then that's where the energy goes. It goes right into the foot and strap. It doesn't stay in the hip region, right? Reverse direction, inhale, open, exhale, down and around, inhale, up the center line, out, exhale, down and around, inhale, up the center line, looking really good. I think you can come up a little bit higher without compromising the position of the pelvis. Yes, that was excellent. Push your range a little bit, push your client's range a little bit, but obviously we want to maintain that nice stable pelvis. Inhale up, out, exhale down and around. Really nice. You're doing a great job of keeping this all nice and tension free, especially considering your neck's bothering you from that little spill roller skating. So this will go down in infamy. So there's our circles down, there's our circles up. We're going to come right down to about 60 degrees, maybe 45 degrees, depending on the client's flexibility. We keep the toes along the same horizontal line as you open, 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 and that's about it. And back together. So you had a tendency to drop the feet down a little bit. You want to keep them right there at that horse. So you see how they're dropping? Let them come up almost like you feel like they're coming up, but they're not. They're staying along that same horizontal line. Imagine that there's a glass ceiling here. You don't want your feet to break the glass. You don't want them to drop underneath it. You want them to stay at that same line. Inhale, open. This is called openings, the last repertoire of this series, the fundamental hip series. They're still dropping a little bit. Pull together. Inhale, open, right about there, and exhale. It almost feels like, to you it might feel like they're coming up a little bit, but they're not. They're staying along the same line. That was it. Nicely done. Really nicely done. Good. I'm going to take this foot out. I guide my client's foot down to the foot bar. I take the other strap out. Again, I'm still in control of the carriage, still in control of the strap, so they're in a safe manner. Come down to the bottom. We're going to go to the next block, which is the spinal articulation block. I hope this is okay on your tailbone. I'm going to be very nice. We're going to go 2 red and a blue, 2 red springs, which is 2.5 springs, 2.5. We're going to go to the same position that you would do if you're doing your parallel toes, okay? So, nice position of the feet, headrest is down. If you are using a modified position of the headrest up, please make sure you put it down. We don't want any undue pressure on the cervical spine. We're going to try to keep the feet in this position. We take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, go into that deep posterior tilt first, tucking the tail, flattening the back. Now use the backs of the legs to peel the spine up, 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 just like the pelvic curl. Inhale at the top. As you exhale, feel each vertebra one at a time articulate down the mat. Going to that deep posterior tilt again. And then make sure you come all the way back to neutral pelvis. I'm not going to push her neutral too much because I don't want to push on her tailbone too much. Inhale. Exhale. Peel up. Don't let those heels rise too much. That's it, that's it, that's it. Very nice. Breathe in. Exhale down. She is doing an amazing job of keeping those adductors active. I want you to imagine you've got a tennis ball between your knees and you can't drop that tennis ball because the knees have a tendency to splay out when you're doing bottom lifts. Inhale, exhale, scoop and roll up. And let's just do a couple bottom lift with extension. So we hold the bottom lift position, we hold the bridge position, we take a breath in, we exhale, press the carriage away. Don't go to the maximum length of your knees, just about 80%. And pull pull back. Hips stay high. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, the knees pull back over the toes, the hip stays high. Exhale, lengthen. And inhale, return. Keep the hips high, don't move, breathe in. And exhale, roll your spine down. She's done a great job of keeping that carriage against the stopper. So that's one of the biggest differences between the pelvic curl and the bottom lift, is now you've really got to use those knee flexors to keep the hips. So I keep the carriage down at the stopper. Awesome. How about a little stretch? Yes. Nice job. She goes, yes. I don't know if you could hear that. She says, yes. Up you go. We're going to go into the lunge standing. Very challenging technically to get this exercise right. I hope I do it right today. Hands are going to be on the foot bar. Right foot is against the shoulder rest. Left foot is down here on the floor, and you want this, all machines, doesn't matter what reformer you want, all of them will have a bolt right here to hold that foot bar. So you want your ankle pretty much in line with the bolt, a little further forward, right about there. Okay, this arm is going to be directly across the shoulder, keeps the shoulders nice and square. You're offset, so this arm has to come across. I want both hands on and thumbs over the top, and just a gentle grab. You can go long fingers or a little gentle grab. I like to just kind of gently grab the bar there. We've got a nice postural alignment, nice neutral pelvis in all directions. Longitudinal, transverse, and sagittal. Exhale, deepen into your hip flexor stretch. Keep this posture up. Keep this posture up. Does that feel okay? I'm not killing you yet. Can we go a little deeper? You want to maximize this hip flexor stretch without compromising the position of the pelvis, without compromising the position of the posture. That's looking really nice. Now, she's kept the knee above the foot. She's had a couple of breaths, 3 to 5 breaths. As you go into the hamstring stretch, we're going to dorsiflex this first, and the hips move along the same horizontal line. Hold it. The hips aren't coming up, the hips aren't going down. They're staying at that same horizontal line. She's kept her posture and her shoulders really nice. And you should feel a little stretch here now, yeah? Breathe, 3 to 5 breaths. We bend the knee, keeping the hips along the same horizontal line. Let the posture drift up with you as you come up. Hold it. You were a little deeper before. You're a little deeper. You kind of came out of it a little bit. Thank you. That's it. Don't move. How's that looking? That's looking good to me. Are you happy with it? I'm happy with it. I'm not going to cue her. We'll see how she does on her own. Take a breath in and exhale back. Hamstring. Dorsiflex first. Drift the hips back. Keep the alignment of the posture. Keep the shoulder scapula stabilization. Natalia. Stunning! Stunning! I love it. So we do that 2 times. Then we come back after we hold for 3 to 5 breaths. We lift the body all the way up, bring the carriage all the way in, and do the other side. Nicely done. I'm just going to make sure. Yep, I can cut that out. Okay, hands on the foot bar. Foot is on the floor. The ankle is in line with the bolt. We've got a nice postural alignment here, lifting up in the spinal extensors. This hand is directly across from the shoulder. This hand is coming across the center line to grab the bar. We drop into that hip flexor stretch. Don't be too conservative here. Really try to drop into that deeper if you can. A little deeper. Keep the knee over your heel. That's it. How's that feel? Okay? That looks lovely. Ooh, you got actually a little better flexibility on this side, your hip flexor, than the other one. I just love teaching Pilates. You can see these asymmetries in the body, how the body reacts to different movements. Take a breath in. As you exhale, dorsiflex the foot, let the hips just drift straight back, reaching out through the knee joint. If you're not as flexible as she is, that's okay. You go back as far as you feel comfortable. You don't have to straighten the leg out. But maintain your shoulder position, maintain your rib position, maintain your pelvic position, maintain your head position. Keep that beautiful alignment that you set when you began this exercise. And we bend the knee, we pull back, we let the posture drift up, head's in line with the spine, keep the pelvis down, keep the pelvis down. You're trying to come out of it. Don't you come out of it, Natalia, that's it. I got a smile out of her. She gets really serious when she works out with me. You're doing great. You're doing great. And breathe deep. Breathe some oxygen into those muscles, into that stretch. Let those motor units just shut off and elongate. Take a breath in and exhale, dorsiflex, press back, keeping the hips along the same horizontal line, keeping the shoulders down, keeping the head in line with the spine. Boom, that looks lovely. Again, if you don't have the same flexibility, you don't have to straighten the leg out, but maintain this beautiful position that you've created to begin your stretch. And we bend the knee. We start to lift up, keeping the pelvis down. That was way better. That time you kept your pelvis in position. Now we lift all the way up, and we go to the other side. So what we're going to do is full body integration. I'm going to introduce scooter to you. I know you've done it a lot of times, but scooter's a tough one for a lot of people who are just starting off for the first time. I'm not sure why people neglect this exercise because it's so powerful. Shoulder scapula stabilization, pelvic lumbar stabilization, nice hip flexor stretch and movement through the hip joint. I just love this exercise. So come into the same position that you just did your lunge standing, right? But the difference is we're going to take this foot and bring it back in line with this foot. So bring this foot back, yep, and right about there, okay? So if I look straight down, I can see the heels are in alignment. Now, right now she's got a nice flat back. Sorry, I hope I'm not putting too much pressure on your sacrum. Neutral pelvis. We're going to soften this knee a little bit and think of the cat stretch in your mat work. The first phase of the cat stretch is going into lumbar flexion and allowing that spine to adjust. You can see her spine is starting to come out of position here, and that's what you don't want to do. So bring that carriage all the way in, go back to that round back, pull your ribs up a little bit, relax here, there you go. Now, keep that position. Keep that pubic bone pressing into the breastbone. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to let go of you. I want you to keep, don't be so aggressive on the back. Be gentle on the back and aggressive in. Tuck your tail a little bit. That was a good one. Stop, don't move. Lift up and switch sides. Okay, if you push back too far, it's going to pull your pelvis out of that deep posterior tilt. Okay, nicely done. Set back up. Bring that foot all the way back to mine. Keep coming, keep coming. Good, if I look down, I can see that the heels are in nice alignment. She's got a nice flat neutral spine here. Great shoulder scapula stabilization. I can see her lats and serratus working. Pelvis is neutral. We're going to soften this knee and go into that lumbar flexion. That lumbar flexion creates a gentle round back. We're not going into a hard round back from the upper body. All of this remains the same as we press back on the inhale and exhale, pull in. Round a little bit more here. Inhale back, relax your neck. Thank you. I'm going to let go. You're on your own. You're going to make it look great. So you're pushing back a little too far, and that's what's getting that pelvis out of position. There you go. Soften this knee a little bit. Round a little more here. That's the position you want. 4 more. And gentle. Gentle back. Pull in. Gentle back. Pull in. Lift up just a little bit here. Gentle back. And pull. Stop. And lift up. That was really nicely done. That was really nicely done. That's a powerful exercise, isn't it? People think, oh, upstretch 2, upstretch 3, those are the strong exercises. But when you do this fundamental work really deep and find the essence of the work, it's just stunning, stunning. So have a lie down. I'm going to go into the arm work. The next block is the arm work. Supine arms. This is my favorite arm series. You've got abdominal strength, hip flexor strength, adductor strength, beautiful movement through the shoulder joint. You're using the carriage as tactile feedback to keep that neutral shoulder position. One of the most understated series that we've got. Grab a hold. Push up on your foot bar just a tad. Good. Tabletop your legs one at a time. I've got a red and a blue on there, which is 1.5 springs. Nice setup. Really nice. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you just take your hands down to the side of your hips. We're going to hover the arms just above the mat, right next to the hips, horizontal to the floor. Inhale, or let those arms rise up above your shoulders. Exhale down. Me, as I'm teaching this, I'm looking to make sure the adductors are staying active. I'm making sure the ribs and abdominals are engaged. The pelvis is staying in a nice neutral position. If your client starts to drop their feet a little bit or raise their ribs, you know they've lost that deep core connection for this particular series. We're starting with extension. Let's do one more. Inhale up. I love to do 8, 10, 12 repetitions on this. We'll just do 8 today. Stay by your side, rotate your hands to face your hips, and go to your T position. Inhale to a T position, exhale down. This is called adduction or adductor work. Inhale T, exhale hips. She's doing a great job of maintaining the hands in line with the shoulders as she opens. If you hear the stopper, the carriage clicking the stopper, you know you've gone down too far, most likely. Or if you feel your arms rising up above the shoulder line, you've probably gone too far. You want to stay right at that shoulder line, or even biased a little under, just to make sure you're keeping that good shoulder scapula stabilization. Inhale, open. Exhale. We're just going to take this down just a little bit and bring your knees in just a hair. That's it. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. We stay by our hips. We rotate our palms down. We drift our arms above the chest. We don't move the carriage. We go out to a T position and we pull back down to our hips. This is circles up. Inhale. Make sure you get that nice rotation through the radius and ulna, which keeps the shoulder in a nice neutral position. Inhale up, out to that T position. Exhale down. Wow, you are just, this is like solid as a board. I love it. And inhale, up, out, exhale. Rotate up, out, exhale. Good, reverse, T position. If you have a newer client or you yourself are newer to Pilates and you're really struggling maintaining that tabletop position, struggling to keep the core engaged during this repertoire, try the pedipole. Ask your Pilates instructor to show you the pedipole. It's the same movement series, it's the same muscle focus and objective. It just is much easier than trying to maintain that tabletop position the whole time. You can even make a pedipole, a makeshift pedipole on the end of your Cadillac. Stay there. The last one is triceps. We bend the elbows and we press down. This can get a little wonky on some clients. We want to keep those elbows just hovering above the mat. Inhale, bend. We want to keep them in nice and tight to the ribs. Inhale, bend. Just to about 90 degrees of the elbow joint, and exhale down. Inhale, bend. You can bend a little bit more right there, and exhale down. And I can see her abs are getting a little tired. Bring those knees in slightly, a little more. Thank you. If those abs are getting tired, the knees are going to start to drop, and the hip flexors, they start to do a lot of work. Are you feeling your hip flexors working there? Not too bad? A little. She's being modest. Inhale, bend, exhale down. Good. Let's bring this in just a little bit. Inhale, bend. Exhale. We do a couple extra triceps because we don't want to get older and watch those triceps wave back at people. She's young now. She doesn't have to worry about that. Give her 30 years and you'll be wanting a stronger toner tricep, right? Exhale down. Drift your arms above your chest. Let those feet come down to the bar. and just stay right there. So what we're going to do for additional leg work is a little bit of magic circle work, a little adductor work. So hold on and I'll be right back. Bam! Magically appeared a magic circle. So what we're going to do is a little bit of adductor work. You're going to put this right between your knees, just around your thigh, tabletop your legs. Hold that tabletop position, give me a little squeeze and release, keeping those knees right above the hips, little squeeze, release. I like to actually do about 10 good solid repetitions and then 10 beats, but because her tailbone's a little sore from her roller skating accident, we're just going to do 10 repetitions on each. There's 4 and 5. She's doing a great job of moving the feet with the knees. A lot of people will just move the feet or they just move the knees. They don't move the legs as one unit, and she's doing a great job of moving the legs as one unit. There's 10. We take that circle, we put it between the ankles. We do the same thing. We squeeze, release. Again, this is in the additional leg work block. We've done a warm-up. We've done footwork. Done ab work, hip work, spinal articulation, stretches, full body integration, arm work. Now we get into some additional leg work. We're going to skip full body integration advanced master level because this is a fundamental class. We'll do some lateral flexion rotation, the BASI block system, ending up with some back extension. We're almost there. We're almost there. Now, use those lower abs to lengthen those legs out to a 60-degree line. Good. Squeeze. And keep those abs working and squeeze. This is very challenging. If you need to bring the legs up or you start to feel this in your low back a little bit, please stop. It means your abdominals have just given up. They don't want to hold this line. They don't want to hold that leg line out. And exhale. Watch your shoulders. Exhale. Ah, that was perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And exhale. Straighten those knees out and exhale and bend. And that's a nice little supine series for your adductors. We're going to come up. Go ahead and get yourself up. I'll get you off your tailbone. I promised her I'd get her off her tailbone. We're going to do Mermaid, one of my favorite lateral flexion rotation exercises. We'll start by facing that direction. So just sit right here, facing that direction. Take this shin and put it against your shoulder rests. Take this foot, put it against your thigh. We're pretty much centered on the machine here. I've just dropped it down to one red spring, one full spring. And this hand you want really off center. You want to make sure you're in a position when the other arm comes across, both hands are about shoulder width apart. This hand is just kind of hovering above the bar. She's got beautiful posture here. Now, as she inhales into lateral flexion, she pushes the carriage away. This arm tries to get to parallel horizontal to the floor. This arm just comes right up out of that shoulder joint. And the carriage doesn't move now. She exhales, no, stay there, stay there. Exhale across, the head finds the line of the spine. Both arms are about shoulder width apart. Inhale back. Head up a little bit. Exhale, upright. This arm drifts right back to its starting position. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, across. Find that line. I want you to rotate just a little more if you can. Is that okay on your neck? Okay. Inhale, back. I'm trying to be cautious of her sore neck, sore tailbone, sore hand. Inhale, hinge. This arm goes parallel or horizontal to the floor. We exhale across, we rotate, keeping the head in nice alignment with the spine. Inhale back. Exhale upward. I usually do about 5 or 7 of these. Inhale, hinge. We try to keep the pelvis here as we rotate across. And if you want to be kind to your client on the last one, just give them a little gentle stretch. Oh, that feels so good. All I'm doing is pulling on her ASIS, pushing on her top scapula a little bit, and just giving a little gentle rotational stretch. Inhale back. And exhale upright. That was really nice. You've been practicing that, huh? Other side. We sit here on the edge. I just tell my client to put the shin against the shoulder rests, put the other foot against the thigh. This is a tough position to get into for some people. If your hips are less flexible than hers, this is tough. So be careful on this. Let this hip rise up a little bit if you need to take some undue pressure off of that stretch. Okay, she's got her hand off center. This is floating. Nice postural alignment. I hope you can see that from the camera. We inhale, hinge. This arm goes horizontal to the floor. Now this is drifting up too high, Natalia. There you go, right about there. Exhale across. We keep the hips still. We go into that nice rotation. We inhale back. Exhale upright. So if you're working out with us at home, be very cautious of how much that carriage is moving. Inhale, hinge. Carriage is going to move here. Now it shouldn't go anywhere as she comes across, as you come across. We find that alignment. We inhale back. Carriage still doesn't move. Carriage is nice and still. And we exhale back to upright. Inhale, hinge. Exhale across. Give you a better view from the back there. Inhale and exhale. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but there's a big asymmetry in her rotation on the side. Inhale, hinge. This will be our last one. Exhale across. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but this side is a lot lower than this side, where the other side was much more symmetrical. So I'm just going to give her a little rotation. Does that feel okay on your body? Okay, that's where you want to be, right about there. I'm going to give her a gentle stretch. There's that square shoulder line that I was looking for. Inhale back and exhale upright. Really nice. That feel okay? Good. Go ahead and come off of there. I'm going to grab a box. We're going to put the box in a long box position, do one of my favorite back extension exercises, Breaststroke Prep 1, Breaststroke Prep 2. So I'm going to go to a lighter spring, just a blue, just a half of a spring. You're going to lie down with your chest over the edge, legs behind you, on your tummy, hands here about shoulder width apart. I think people put too much into this movement pattern. The first one, Breaststroke Prep 1, is all about just getting that shoulder scapula stabilization throughout movement. And then you can start to add the extension on Breaststroke Prep 2. Can you scoot down just a little bit? That's it, nicely done. Elbows are fairly up, not as high as the shoulder, but kind of winged out to the side. Head's in line with the spine. Legs are together and active. They're not extended, they're active. And I can see right now her back extensors are active. You want them active. You don't want them lifting. You don't want the back moving. You just want them to be engaged. Now watch as she presses out on the inhale. The shoulders stay nice and neutral. And we bend the elbows out to the side. And we inhale, press out. We exhale, return. Little more extension from the cervical. That's it. And inhale, extend. We've got a nice neutral pelvis, nice neutral leg position, good engagement of the abdominals. And I don't know if you can see this from there, but the scapula is staying beautifully still. Once you've trained the serratus anterior, the latissimus dorsi, all those muscles to keep that scapula neutral, then we inhale and extend a little further. Breaststroke Prep 2. And then we exhale, drop out of that extension, coming back to our starting position. And inhale, we extend a little more, keeping that shoulder line. Wow, you're doing a great job on this, Natalia. And inhale, return. And I lied. Inhale up. Reaching out through the crown of the head. And exhale, return, keeping that shoulder nice and still. And inhale up, reaching out through the crown of the head, keeping those legs together. Exhale down, let's do one more. And we inhale up. And we exhale down. Well, your movement is really just stunning. You're just getting so much better at your movement patterns. Off you go. Stand where you started originally. facing away from me. Feet a couple inches apart. How's your body feel? Did we loosen you up a little bit, or did I make you more sore? So we finished with some roll downs. I always like to commence a session with a roll down and conclude a session with a roll down. So let's do 3 roll downs. Breathe in and just let your body roll down. I don't know if you can see this on film, but it's just the back is moving so much nicer than we started. Inhale, exhale up. I really like the way she softens her knees as we get into that lumbar region. The shoulders just seem a little calmer, more relaxed to me. Inhale, feel the neck stretch, the mid-back, the mid-lower. As you get into your lumbar, soften the knees a little bit. Let the head just kind of hang heavy. Keep the palms facing one another. Pull into your abs. Push your sacrum under as you're coming up. Use the core to restack your spine, not the back extensors. And we do one more. Breathe in. All on your own. She's got a nice active arm line, palms facing one another, not strictly strong, but just creating a nice length of the arm. And exhale up. The neck is just moving with the spine. We find a nice elongated position up. The hands are coming just to the hip joint. Bring your arms up like this. Nice job. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, thanks for joining me today. I really do love bringing you these videos. Again, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe to become a part of the Pilates Life channel. Thanks again, be kind, and have a great day.